I guess I'm just going to make this a bi-weekly recap instead of a weekly recap. I guess I'm going to make a bi-weekly recap because that's kind of the pace I'm going at. So, been a very busy man in September. September, very loaded month. A lot of fun. October looks like it's going to be a little bit calmer. I'm going to get back to the weekly, so bi-weekly recaps. Hello, everyone. My name is Samuel Lee, your lovely commissioner, and let's get on with it. Week 3, one of 3 theme weeks. I didn't want to just not do a week 3 recap because week 3 had significance with it being a theme week, and I didn't want to just override that and just skip and go to the week 4. So I know this is late. I'm gonna make this a little bit quick. It already happened. This is a theme week. Gotta have the importance of the theme week. It took me a long time to make the schedule. Manually make the schedule and to throw a theme week in here. So let's get on with the show. Theme week. OGs versus new breeds. The people and the teams are in the 2021 first year of the league. 5 of us, and then 5 new people that joined on in 2022 when the league expanded. So kind of worked out pretty good, 5 and 5. So we're going to start off with the 2021 champion, Randy. Never going to gives you up. And I had him face Mike Rowe Balls. Randy is, never going to gives you up. He's never going to gives you dubs. All right? Randy's only going to give himself dubs. He moves to 3-0 with a big win over Mike Rowe Balls. He wins 146 to 119. He had 4 people score 20 or more points. Caleb Williams led his team with 29 points. It actually was very close until Monday Night Football happened. Lions of Ravens. We all knew it was going to be we all hoped and we all kind of knew that it would be a pretty intense offensive game. A lot of fantasy teams here involved because both teams have a lot of great fantasy assets. Obviously for Randy, Jahmyr Gibbs. Huge Jahmyr Gibbs and their kicker Bates. He only had 111.12 before Monday Night Football, and with Gibbs and their kicker Bates, that propelled him to 30. They combined for 34.9 points. Now, Microballs. Did he have anyone on Monday night that night? He did. He had Zay Flowers. And Zay Flowers, unfortunately, did not really come through for him, at all. He was actually beating Randy 116.54 to 111.12. And it was kind of favoring Randy anyway, even though Ryan had a 5-point advantage. But yeah, Zay Flowers, only 3 points. So very, very tough. If Zay had a little bit of a stronger game, maybe another 20, 25-point outburst, we'll be a little closer, but that's how the ball's rolled sometimes. That's how it goes. For microballs, Hunter Henry had 29 points. The graph is going up for him. He's really starting to step up. We'll get to him in the next episode as well. Joe Burrow, first game without Joe Burrow. So it was 2 a time. 2 to okay that week. So it'll be interesting to see how he manages quarterbacks moving forward with Burrow being out for most of the year. Next, we move to the 2022 champion. She's part of the new breed as Little Miss Sally Walker, a.k.a. Kendra, against the runner-up from last year, Take Goff Your Gene Tees, who was looking for his first win And he would not add on to the OG's win column as Loomis Sally Walker keeps walking into victories. She wins 112.26 to 107.18. Just did walk out of danger. She survived Monday Night Football. Like I said, Monday Night Football, that Lions versus Ravens affected a lot of teams. Take off your GTs. Obviously, Jared Goff. He did start Jared Goff. Kendra didn't have anyone for that matchup. Jared Goff, he needed to get 17.76 points to at least tie. Very American number right there. Unfortunately, Goff only got about like 12 points, so he fell about 5 points shy there. For Little Miss Sally Walker, pretty fitting that who her team's named after was her highest scorer for that week. Kenneth Walker third, 18 points. She had 6 players with 10 or more points. Unfortunately, she did lose James Conner to an injury, so it's kind of tough for her running back committee there. Going back to take off your GTs. James Cook, man, put that graph going up by him too, man. He has been electric. A really good defense, special teams matchup here. Miss Sally Walker at 16 from her Colts. And take off your GTs at 17 from the Seahawks. Unfortunately, this week he did lose Terry McLaurin to an injury. It's kind of undecided to how long he's going to be out. So, got to hope that his wide receivers someone steps up in his wide receiver group. So it's 1 win OGs, 1 win New Breeds. So who's going to break the tie with the third matchup? We have our 2023 champion, Bonnie Blue 42, going up against Allen's Watching Sins, or the New Breed. And Allen's Watching Sins is going to win big time here, 161 to 116. 161, the most points in a single game through week 3. Little foreshadow. He had 5 players with 17 or more points. Vikings defense, absolutely insane. I mean, pretty much after that game, Bryce probably knew he was going to lose. 32 points? Are you serious? First game without Joe Burrow. They're in great hands with Jake Browning. He did wonderful in 2023 when Burrow was out. He's got weapons, but man, they could not hold on to the football that game. The Vikings had for so many turnovers. They had two pick sixes. I think they ran back a kickoff for a touchdown or a punt or something. I mean, it was just it was insane. 32 points. Between his Vikings defense, his kicker, and his punter, those 3 positions combined for 54 points, which is a lot coming from those 3 positions. As for Bryce and Bonnie Blue 42, Nico Collins finally had a good game. Jordan Mason, 23 points, led all the scoring. And this is the birth. This is the week of the birth of the Cam Scatabo era. Tyron Tracy went out that Sunday night game with the Chiefs and the Giants. Scatabo comes in and it's very early to tell, almost looks like young Christian McCaffrey. Whoa! Almost looks like a young Christian McCaffrey potential. Couldn't say the potential word out, But so Scatabo, another graph going up for another player. Also, unrelated to his fantasy team, had to rep the Browns here for my boy Bryce. Huge win against the Packers in week 3. I was like, week 3 recap, I definitely got to put on the Browns jersey. Huge win for him. And that's a perfect segue. The Browns won. A couple players, obviously had some big moments, like the interception late in the game that forced a tie. But one of their big players for their offense, big role player, Quinn Sean Judkins. I need a running back so bad. Quinshon Judkins, drafted him. Didn't realize that he hadn't signed a deal yet. And I'm like, oh man, this guy. So then I ended up dropping him. And then I got a notification on my phone on September 6th, Saturday morning, and saying that he was that they reached a deal. And I was like, oh, let me just go ahead and add him back so I don't lose out on him. And it's a good thing I did, because he had a big game against the Packers defense, who at the time looked like probably one of the better defenses in the league. So, and almost didn't start him that week either, but it's a good thing I did. I ended up winning 135 to 120. Judkins had 16 points for me. If I hadn't started him and started someone else, I guess I still would have won, but it would have been a lot closer. So that's 2 wins for the OGs, 2 wins for the new breeds. Pretty close here. Jalen Hurts finally woke up, had a good game. He had 29 points. I had 31.4 points on Monday Night Football. Amon-Ra St. Brown and King Henry, they got the job done for me. As for Scranton Stranglers, he falls to 1-2 after week 3. Christian McCaffrey has been on absolute fire. It was a great first-round pick for him. We got another draft going up for another player. It's going to be George Pickens. A huge pickup here. I mean, this dude's just getting better and better every week. A little foreshadow for week 4 for Pickens. That was also my first win. I was one of 3 0-2 teams going into week 3. Your boy caught a dub finally. So it's good. Next, we're going to go to On the Hunt to Victory against Sake and Bake. That's Kelsey, one of the OGs, against New Breed Trey. And Kelsey's going to win 104 to 88. Munt E-Night Football. David Montgomery, 29 points. She only had 66.98 points before Monday Night Football. And it was looking like she was going to lose because Sake and Bake had Mark Andrews. But then for some reason, this might be the biggest fantasy football blunder, maybe of the Friend League, Fam League history. I meant to tell him what he did, but I was at work or something where I wasn't able to, realize what he did and then try to text him real quick. He had Mark Andrews. I guess he was a little bit disappointed how Mark Andrews has been playing. Dropped him for Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely was already ruled out when he dropped him. So it was less likely he was going to win his matchup. Mark Andrews had 27 points. If he had kept him, he would have easily beaten Kelsey. But he picks up Likely, who was ruled out. So a big goose egg right there, and he ends up losing. That is just such a crazy blunder right there. Oh, it's crazy. Would have been his first win of the season. Unfortunately, he falls to 0-3. I mean, that is just wild. Wow. And to make matters worse, he lost Mike Evans in week 3. So, not good stuff for Sake and Bake. Not good stuff. So, we have the OGs up 3-2. One more matchup here. Could Josh put a tie in the OGs versus New Breed, or would Molly propel the OGs to victory?
Matchup of the week.
Man, there have been so many close matchups this year decided between 5 points or less. I mean, I think total there's been at least 5 or 6, which is gotta be the best start in the league's history. The summer I turned purdy, man, 118.74 to 116.4 2 over CDs, TDs. The OGs. We got it done, baby. OGs defeat the new breed. 4 wins to 2 wins. Before Monday Night Football, it was 111.44 to 89.4 in favor of Molly. She had Sam Laporta that only had 7.3 points. Josh had Lamar Jackson. So there was some potential there for a comeback, even though he was down by quite a bit. Lamar did ball out, of course, 27.02 points. But Sam Laporta's 7.3 was just enough to propel Molly to victory. Jonathan Taylor, we're looking like the Jonathan Taylor flashbacks of the 2021 season, where he just absolutely just tore it up. I think he was the rushing leader that year. He had 32 points in week 3. As for CDs, TDs, CD, see you later. He goes in the, I don't think he's on the IR actually. He might be in the IR, but going to be out indefinitely. So, but as one flower kind of, goes down, another flower blossoms. Omarion Hampton, that graph is going up like this for him. Najee Harris hurt, so he's taking a lot of the bulk. And he was already kind of taking a lot of the bulk anyway before Najee got hurt. But he is looking like a dual threat running back and a force to be reckoned with. He looks like, it's very early to say, but he looks like he could be a top 5 running back in the year. Like, he looks very dangerous. So, that's about all I have for week 3. Kind of talked a little bit more than I wanted to, but the OGs got the win. So, congratulations to all the OGs. Well done.